Thank
Welcome to Squatchin Holler.
In the mist where the trees lean low, Squatchin Holler's got a tale to show. Whispers creep like a creature's faint howl. Every shadow's got a secret to growl. Monsters rise where the stories are told. Squatchin Holler where the legends are born. Are they here? Are they gone? Who can say? In the holler, the truth just slips away. Huge footprints fade where the creek runs thin. A lantern sways, let the search begin. Rustling leaves, but there's no one near. Is it the wind or the beast you fear? Every echo's a question, every rustle's a clue. Squatchin Holler's got its eyes on you. Monsters rise where the stories are torn. Squatchin Holler where the legends are born. Are they here? Are they gone? Who can say?
With your Squatchin Holler hosts, Roger Williams, Amanda Stowers, and Ashley Range. Remember, this podcast can be downloaded everywhere great podcasts are found. And now the show.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Roger, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm looking forward to this. I look forward to all of them, but I think this was going to be kind of a relaxed show. And what I mean is, Tate does so much. We're not going to have to worry about anything, a subject to talk about.
Right.
I think my TV's been binging for 2 days straight on just his channel. And y'all, right now, before we get started, let me put the banner up here. Just go, not right now, but you write this down, Tate Hieronymus, at Tate Hieronymus, and there's plenty. If y'all are at home and want to binge on some Bigfoot stuff, check him out. I think he's up to, I don't even know, 16?
Like 16 or so episodes.
And they're not 30 minutes long either. They're, they're long. So, but yeah, our buddy Glenn from out west got us in contact with Tate, which I've been watching his stuff, and I know some of the same people that he does, but we've never crossed paths. So so how have you been, Amanda?
Oh, been pretty good. Wide open as always.
Same here. So y'all, so the title may confuse some of y'all like it did me a few years ago. I didn't know what the word Sabe meant. And for just getting started here, we're going to do the goofy trivia.
I'm always dancing to that.
I could listen to that for way too long. All right. You want me to read the question for everybody?
Yeah, you read the question to everybody and I'll give the answer tonight.
Okay, and y'all, I've got a slide with a short answer, but Amanda has more explanation. So, where did the word Sabe come from, and what does it mean? Anybody?
Any takers?
You probably can guess. We got, and hey, chat, Larry, everybody.
Somebody says, is it not Spanish?
Rocking and rolling.
Actually, no, it is not. Getting closer.
Buttworm, they changed you to Buttwormy. Best name in chat ever.
Yeah.
But YouTube changed it. All right, so we can just get right to it.
So, all right. So here is our answer.
And there we go.
Yeah. So it is actually the Ojibwe word for Sasquatch. So Sabe is originated from the Ojibwe people, which are out of the Great Lakes general area, Minnesota, Michigan, that kind of area. But what's really interesting, and that the reason I wanted to share it with everybody tonight, is while I was researching a little bit about it, it was talking how in the Ojibwe folklore lexicon, insert word right there. I'm sorry, I can't think of the right word to use for it. But anyway, in their teachings, Sabe is actually a spiritual teacher. And they are represented as one of the 7 sacred teachings for the Ojibwe people. So let me pull it up here. I thought it was actually really interesting. So the Ojibwe have 7 different sacred teachings, and each one is represented by a different animal. So I'll just read what it says here. These are fundamental virtues, each represented by an animal guiding a good life. Number 1 is wisdom, which is the beaver. It uses knowledge for the good of all. 2 is love, which is the eagle. Unconditional care, see from a higher perspective, which makes sense, seeing as eagles are always flying above. Respect comes from the buffalo, which I'm going to counteract that one, that actually here in America it's bison, not buffalo. So anyway, just my little 2 cents. That is respect for honor all creation and give without expectation. Number 4 is bravery for the bear, face fear and adversity with courage. Number 5 is honesty, which is the Sabe. And their teaching is be truthful in words and in action and live authentically, which I think actually summarizes Sasquatch to a T. And then we have number 6, which is humility, which is the wolf. Know your place in creation and serve others. And number 7 is truth, which is the turtle. Live by nature and spiritual laws and speak only truth. So I thought all of that was really interesting, and I wanted to just share it with everybody.
I'm glad you did, because I was thinking, half of them are not going to know, which included me, where the word came from. So that gives me the first question for Mr. Tate. We're going to bring him in.
Let's go ahead and bring him on so we can start picking his brain.
Mr. Tate, hello. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. So the obvious question is, how or why did you pick that as it was important to you, because you're doing a whole series and that it's search for Sabe. So how did that come about?
Well, I will say the original title was just a search for Sabe. There was no Sasquatch in it, but people were like, you should put Sasquatch in it because nobody knows what Sabe means.
Right, search word, right?
So yeah, search word. So, and it just kind of looks cool with the title Sasquatch, a search for Sabe. But kind of where I came up with that was I was watching Survivor Man Bigfoot, and I heard Les Stroud talk about it. And he was saying how he was in Manitoba, Canada, and he heard what was called the 7 teachings. And he said how Bigfoot, another name for Bigfoot, is Sabe, and how it means honesty. And that, with television, there's a lot of dishonest editing and not a lot of truth out there. And even in YouTube, sometimes there's not a lot of truthful filmmakers. There's only a handful. So I wanted to make the title also about Bigfoot. So it's Bigfoot and it means honesty at the same time. And so everything that's in my series, I go honestly about it and I don't fake anything. And that's very important. So that kind of embodies the whole series and how I go about filming and my research just in general.
That's awesome. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. If I'd have known that, I'd have been a bigger fan. Because I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing when I started doing this. I was trying to learn because of my situation that happened years ago. And when we started talking to people, when I started interviewing people, and I decided to do a show or anything on YouTube, that's what I tell people. If I don't know, I'm not going to make up an answer. And if I'm not going to show you a stump squatch picture. And, now I've had some weird stuff happen, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know what this is. Y'all give me some ideas. So, I think that's the best way to go about it, because, once you lose the trust, and I watched a lot of your videos, and, we talk about just sitting on the front porch talking about Bigfoot here, and your videos, the pace and stuff, it's just like friends going out and looking for Bigfoot. Yeah. And it's
sometimes
it feels like you're there with
film.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You forget that you want to go out there to film things because you're like hanging out and just having a good time. And then you're like, oh yeah, I got to do this because I came here for that.
And kudos to Mr. Hieronymus for doing a blooper reel.
Oh, you like that blooper?
I saw it today. I'm like, I got to check that out. So
it's that's very tamed. What you see,
I can imagine.
I bet.
It's a lot more colorful.
Hey.
It's so funny because me, Alex, and Jonathan were always like Ron were always like kind of talking back and forth like, man, we can't use any of the footage because of what people are saying on camera. We have to just use it as a B-roll. It's so bad. You get canceled.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
like instant flag on YouTube.
Yeah, so we're like, hey, everybody quiet, I'm filming.
You can, and people, that clutch their pearls. I can't believe it. He said that. You go into a barber shop or a beauty shop down here, and it's on.
It's so funny because like in normal society, like in bigger cities or like where we live, there's a lot of rules people follow, but when you get way out there, it kind of just goes out the window.
That's right.
So, even like really small towns don't have the same kind of decency, I guess you would say, when it comes to word usage, and they're on a completely different level out there.
Yeah, Gary, please be sure and hit the thumbs up. So how many there's a few questions I have. How many states have you been to so far out with your boots on the ground? Now, I'm going to say this. We don't have many trolls, but sometimes in the comments after the show, you get them, everybody gets them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, tell me you only watch 2 minutes of the show without telling me that, because they'll get offended by something and they'll leave a horrible comment or whatever. I laugh at them.
I stopped trying to please people. Like I make things for myself,
That's right. And what I was going to say is, y'all, Tate gets out there. I would love to stay out looking, but a lot of people don't have the opportunity, and he takes his free time, and you can tell by the videos he's doing this for him and us. There are places that he's been to that I'll never get to see. So I'm looking around, at the scenery and at the terrain and stuff, and some of them I'm like, nope, I'm not going there. But
same with me. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting my butt down in there.
Right. And Tate equals boots on the ground. Absolutely. So
yeah.
How many states have you been to do that? Approximately?
Not as much as I would like. I'm kind of sad to say. And a lot of it, I mean, to be honest, there's so many places I want to go to, but there's also some places I've been to that I still haven't explored all of it yet. I mean,
exactly.
There's places in Northern California that I haven't been to, and I've never been to Shasta, and I can't tell you how many times I've been up to Bluff Creek. Right. It's kind of up in that area. So I want to go to Shasta still. I've never been to Crater Lake. I want to go there. But, to answer how many states I've been to, for filming and even not filming, I've been to Missouri. I've been to, trying to think, Idaho. I've been to Washington. I've been to California. I've been to Oregon. I've been to Georgia. I think that's really about it. Well, in Florida, obviously. So those are kind of the places I really done work in. There's still other places I really want to get to that's on my bucket list. So,
well, I hope you do for our sake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I think I'm gonna hit up Atlanta, not Atlanta. Sorry, I will be in Atlanta, but I don't know when yet.
Well, if you get close, let us know.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
If
trying
you
to go
get
up to the
hurt.
Olympics this year, so next
Oh,
year I should
interesting.
say, 2026.
So, we can get started. A lot of people they like the scary stuff. I could talk about anything, and that's what I love about doing a show like this. But let's get to one thing. So, I believe it was Buck Creek
And
area.
Southern California.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that where you caught the night vision thermal or
that thermal. That was near a town called Gorman, California. That was probably about a couple hours from where I lived in Ventura, because I lived in Southern California for 4 years.
Mhm.
So I asked Cliff, hey, where's a good place to go that I don't have to travel to the redwoods, like way, because I think even the closest redwoods were, or even the Sierras were about 4 or 5 hours from me, give or take. I didn't want to be traveling that way. So Cliff's like, yeah, go to this place that's over here. And I went there and I found tracks, or possible tracks. I sat on those for a year. Then I tweeted Moneymaker, and he met me out there. And that same day, I ended up getting a video of one on a thermal camera. But interesting to note, there was a guy of that same year that filmed possible Sasquatch on the Grapevine in July. And then I got my thermal video in October of the same year. And it's kind of, as the bird flies, I want to say maybe 6-7 miles. So it's not very far away.
Yeah, that's
Right.
not far at all, especially for these things.
No,
Right.
it was really close. And I did not expect anything to happen that night. And actually, that was my first time using a thermal imager ever.
Wow.
And so if you've actually watched the video, I'm like flipping through the filters because I cannot see through that lens right there. And I couldn't see until I got home the next day and looked on the computer like, oh my God. But I heard a response because I did a whoop and it responded back. And we saw eye shine, me and my friend. And my friend who was with me is actually a skeptic. And if you ask him today, he's like, I don't know what I saw, but I can't explain it either.
Right.
So,
And that's and I would rather have people with me like that than every crack or branch or anything. Oh my God, that's a Bigfoot. That's you surround yourself with people, and I want to talk about trust. Y'all think about what he just said. He called people up and they gave him an area to go research. You don't get that without trust. I mean, it would be hard for me to tell my best friend where I go fishing at, So.
Well, the nice thing about this place is it's really hard for people to get to unless you kind of have like a 4x4 kind of vehicle, because the road up there is pretty rough.
I've seen some of the, like where y'all walk in a lot of times, the drop off would be terrifying if you're on the passenger side of a Jeep,
Yeah, it can be pretty bad. I remember it was really cool because nothing happened, but it was in one of the episodes. It was the Southern California of my thermal site area. But we had this plan because I usually plan like a year ahead. Like, okay, we're going to get this spot and go here. And we had the plan to go to Southern California to my site. And we're like, oh, there's going to be a hurricane hitting California. And like the first hurricane, I don't know how many years.
Ever in my lifetime, probably.
I think it was
definitely
like 80,
our lifetime.
It was like 80 years it's been since a hurricane's hit California.
Yep.
And we were like, let's go anyway.
Wait a minute. Was that hurricane by the chance named Hillary?
Yeah, it was Hurricane Hillary.
We got a Hillary in chat. That's why she picks on me all the time. So Hurricane Hillary. I don't know how I remember that, but anyway, sorry, Tate.
It was crazy because we camped there, and like the first day was fine. I can't remember how many days we were, but we got there and it was fine. Then the rain started coming in, and they were like, "Oh man, we're not going to go up the mountain because if it gets washed out, we're stuck up there." And so we drove back down and camped somewhere, and we had just like the jankiest setup of tarps between my Jeep and Glenn's truck, and we're backed up to each other. And Glenn, we had Ron Reed, my friend, Austin, myself, and I can't remember if we had a dog with us or not, but we were all in the Jeep. And it got bad at one point. Austin went and slept in the like kind of wet tent that was kind of dry.
There wasn't anything dry out there. It didn't look like.
No, and then,
it was definitely wet.
It was crazy because the next day it cleared up and it was cold, but we drove up to the top of the mountain. No, sorry. The day it was raining before the next day happened, we were all sitting in the truck and I thought somebody was shaking my Jeep. I'm like, dude, what the heck? But there was an earthquake that happened.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Hurricane. I'm like, dude, this is amazing. And then
it's like the most California thing ever to happen.
Right.
I know, but all at the same time, you know. So
that's crazy.
I felt like I could have went and bought lottery tickets and got really lucky. But even crazier enough, the next night we had another earthquake.
Oh my gracious!
Because it was like, I can't remember, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I got back and I'm like sleeping in the Jeep, and I could feel my Jeep shaking. I'm like, dude, that's another earthquake. What the heck?
That's a pretty good size one. And another thing, watching some of your videos, that's actually pretty scary. I know y'all had a incident where some rocks came off of a bluff down to where y'all were at.
Yeah, that predated the Sabe series. I was filming for Uncovering the Truth of Sasquatch documentary I made. And yeah, that was the first time I met Alex and Eli.
Yeah. That was
like the second or third being on the trail that they did for STM. And so they wanted to go out to Bluff Creek, and we got connected with them. I met them in Southern California. Then we drove up. We had a good time. We camped in the redwoods at this random spot. And that was a good time hanging out. And yeah, we got up, we met with Bobo on a property that I think somebody Bobo knows had something happen. So we went and checked that out. And then we drove out to Louse Camp, and just a few hundred yards before Louse Camp is where that rock slide came. Cause there's actually an old road up there.
Right. So if I remember correctly, or walk us through it, you were filming, right? So when this happened, or
we weren't even we weren't even filming. And it just so happened Eli wanted to film for some reason. And cause he was just filming with his cell phone. Mm-hmm. And thankfully he did, because that was pretty cool to get on camera. I mean, you don't obviously see anything, you hear things happening,
right?
But what people don't hear is after we were tossing rocks down in the bottom of the creek, the rock slide happened, and as we're looking up to see what was causing those rocks to fall down at us, the three of us simultaneously heard something walking in the creek below us.
Oh snap!
Like a diversion.
Yeah, we talk about it on camera. Well, I didn't, not in one of my videos, but one of Bluff Creek's STM Beyond the Trail. There's like a longer version of us talking about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, something was walking in the creek right below us. We all heard it clear as day.
So the more we learn about these things, it makes sense, because there's multiple stories from witnesses, and where 3 and 4 and 5 people were there, and they have a diversion, a sound, a rock toss, and then the ones that y'all walking at night and slipping up on something.
That's the thing too. We weren't doing Bigfoot anything. We're just driving in to go set up camp, because we're setting up camp in the dark at this point. It's already nighttime, and so we were the first ones in there, and you don't expect it to happen. You're just like, we're having fun throwing rocks off the hill being guys. But I mean, we're trying to Eli's driving a smaller car, and I'm worried about his tires getting popped, because we get up flats every time we go out there. And so we're just throwing rocks, and next thing you know, that happens. But that was like the most, it was the most aggressive trip as far as like potential Bigfoot activity that I've had in Bluff Creek of all my years going. Because we had in Laird Meadow later that trip, we had something thrown at Alex and I, and we were getting knocks too. It was insane. It was a really eventful and I think successful trip of all the years I've ever had up there.
And yeah, people we'll have people that'll watch 2 minutes and they're not going to show clear pictures. No, go to Facebook and let them do the AI stuff if you want to see, the boogeyman pictures. When you get out in the field, we say this all the time. I could hand somebody that's inexperienced and like, here's a $10,000 camera. Here's how you use it. Go get me a picture of a squirrel.
Oh yeah, there's no way.
It's tough. I mean, it's not as easy as people think, and they always, you need to do better. You need to get better. And I'm like, you know how much it costs? Like, if you want to pony the money up and let's get a crew together, yeah, we can do this. But man, this stuff is expensive. And when you do shows and stuff, it's hard to make the money back that it costs you to produce it,
yeah, because now I'm monetized on YouTube, and I think I've made $400 over a year and a half.
Yeah, well,
and I'll tell you how much it cost me, because I drive everywhere. I don't fly.
Yeah.
And since I lived in Florida, it's been 4-5 years. I've driven every year,
Wow.
from Florida to the West Coast.
That's a long drive.
And from here to there, it's about $5,000. And so I'm putting $5,000 into something I will probably make $100 back.
Exactly. And
that's how you know it's a true passion project.
So you have to love it.
And I thought about maybe making like a documentary kind of showing leading up to a trip, because I want to show like what people actually do to prepare for like you always get people or like, oh, he's just making money off Bigfoot. Like, dude, I am not making money off Bigfoot. No. Like, I'm working a job that I hate to death every day, and I take 1 month off to film stuff, and then I come right back to it.
You might be 2 days hiking to get 45 seconds of footage.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I totally understand. Doug, when I first met him, I talked to him on the phone, and we were talking about money, and so we were laughing about what the mindset that some people have. Oh, you're getting rich. He said he finally, at that point when we talked, 28 and a half years later, and just a few months before, he finally broke even on When Legend Meets Science. So what he spent, to get that going and the money it brought in, it took almost 30 years to recoup that money.
I mean, for YouTube, you just have to get lucky. Hopefully, like the algorithm picks up a video, and then that blows up, and you get more followers for that.
Yeah, so roll it into it. Yeah.
But I mean, I look at it as like, I still don't want it to, to stray from focusing too much on making content and not my research. I want to try and balance the two out when I'm out there.
Right.
That way I can get all done at once and have the trip be worth it on both aspects of filming and my research. And I'm just like, it's a business, so I'm just trying to keep that in its place, but still grow it. So eventually I could probably do this full time. That's the end goal, but it's going to take some time to get there. And I just keep doing what I'm doing, really.
Look, here's the thing. Here's the difference in, so if you see something on a major network and you see something on the small platforms or small, I won't say small platforms, but smaller budget, stuff like that, or no budget like me. The people are doing it because they love it. They're trying to spread the truth. And I feel like that's why a lot of people in this chat right now are watching these shows, because of the people that are being genuine. There is a certain groups that they fight amongst themselves, and I honestly don't think that's an accident. Sometimes they create drama.
Yeah, there's a lot of
drama sells.
Yeah, drama sells, and obviously fakery sells too in the subject.
Yes.
I mean, people are willing to believe anything nowadays. It's insane. And so it's not hard to imagine people won't believe a lot of things they see from somebody who's being truthful. Like, oh, this guy's probably fake because he's being honest.
Yeah,
you got blatantly, lyingly people on TV shows, and people are like, dude, this is totally real. They're using real science.
Yeah. Yeah. that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, it's a whole nother ballgame.
I didn't want to say it.
No, you're good. You're good. It's man, where'd I go from there? Because that's something I feel like is important. Because unfortunately, like I'm 54 years old, but I've got friends that are in their 60s and 70s that can't see too well, and they're sending me stuff all the time. Like, man, look at this. And I'm like, man, I could do that in 2 minutes, on this free app. But
yeah,
I'm like, okay, that's not real. I will talk to them, whatever. And then it's getting to the point now where I don't go down a rabbit hole, but if that's the best cover in the world is for everybody to think something's fake or is being faked. There's people used to say CGI without even knowing what that was and how expensive it was, so.
And now everybody's toting AI instead of
CGI. It's funny. I like AI. I mean, I use it to make thumbnails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
that's where I got this stuff I just read earlier. I got it off of an AI search because I like it because it helps abbreviate everything for me real quick.
I mean, I like AI for that. I hate the fact that, like, I want to use a real artist to make thumbnails, but I just can't afford it.
Right.
So, because it costs money to because that's the way people make living, and if they're doing artwork all the time,
they get paid well.
They get paid well, and it's like, man, if people don't realize, like, if you want artwork just for one thumbnail from an actual artist, they'll probably do a few sketches, and then you get maybe a couple images from that, and it's about maybe $100 if you're good friends with them.
Right.
They might be giving you a deal. Otherwise, it could be even more than that.
Yep.
It's
because I need this, I need that, I need this, and it has to be this.
And it's a double-edged sword, but it doesn't, no matter what the instrument is, it's the user that you have to trust or distrust. So with me, Amanda sees it all. They probably get bored of seeing some of the stupid stuff I do, but I'm entertaining myself right now, and I've never once said, hey, this is the real deal. I'm just not going to do that.
No, yeah, I don't like doing that. Even I know some people, you can still be honest and use kind of clickbaity titles. I don't like doing that either. I don't know. I'm very organic, I guess.
Which a lot of people see that and appreciate it. Just saying.
I just can't do it. And like I've always described my series as not like the most exciting series. If you've ever, you watched it, it's kind of, it can be boring. I'm not gonna lie. Even I think it is sometimes, but even I still enjoy watching them. I enjoy the heck out of it. Because I live vicariously again through my videos.
Exactly. I know. I guess two of the biggest right now is Flash of Beauty and Small Town Monsters, and the way they present it, I like the pace of Small Town Monsters. I watched a episode last week, and it was just. I think it was Seth and Heather and Cliff Barackman just hanging out.
Yeah.
And that wasn't flashy. Now, what happens is I do understand some of the transitions and some of the shots overhead and all that. It holds people's attention, like me. When you see beautiful lakes and mountains and stuff like that, yeah, that's just part of good filmmaking. But to have access to that type of equipment is, it's pretty rare.
Yeah,
but I like the way they do things. And that's not plugging them. It's just, it's when you have a certain feel to it. That's what I was talking about yours. If I'm watching something and it doesn't have the right feel, I lose interest, but you'll lose half of the people too, because it's boring to them. But you said it, the organic way is better, because if you have 5,000 subs and get 4,000 views, you're way better off than the person with 80,000 subs getting, 500.
Yeah, I know. That's like, I've seen that before in channels. I'm like, you have this many subscribers, but you don't have that many views.
And and me overthinking things, because I've had time to, and that's me normally. I've watched some of this happen, and
Yeah.
here's kind of what I think happens. Like you said earlier, people get lucky. There's a video that goes viral. They may pick up 10, 20, 30,000 subs off of it, or they release something that's amazing. And those people get excited. They sub and never look at it again.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the people that come and listen to me run my mouth, because I'm just throwing stuff against the wall.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny because like you can't please everybody. You know, if you try to please one group of people, you're going to disappoint the other, and vice versa. And so,
yeah,
I'm like, you know, I don't mind constructive criticism, but don't be rude. You know, don't tell me how to do something. You're like, oh, what if you try this or that? You know, that's constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. I'll take that into consideration. But you know, for me, I like making stuff for me. I want to see it if it's what I want. If people like it, I really hope they do.
And I think that's important when you get finished with something and you're comfortable with it and you can move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
It does show up though. I mean, a lot of people, you know, if they watch something and they see y'all giggling or whatever, I'm like, oh God, that's like me and my friends. That's what we'd be doing. Other people, they're not taking it serious enough. But that person though, that looks at it in that light is going to find something regardless that they don't like usually.
Yeah.
So.
It's going to be this thing. And you know, it's another thing too. I think when you see people trying to be researchers, you can talk about it. I'm going to say this. You're out there for a long time. You know, we'll do like a 2-week trip in Bluff Creek, and that's 2 weeks. You know, we're not filming every day. A lot of times we'll probably have like days we'll just drink beer all day and swim in the creek.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, oh, they're drinking beers. They're probably doing this and that. They're probably not being like, they're going to fake. Like, man, you try going out there for 2 weeks and constantly film. You're going to run out of memory, and you're going to constantly be uploading, and you're not going to enjoy anything. You know, and sometimes some of the best things come from just exploring and hanging out, and you come up with ideas like, oh, what if we did this for that? You know,
yep.
And like, you know, we talked about, I don't know if it was before the show or during the show, but going in with a plan, it never goes according to plan. I've tried that once. I'm not doing that again. You know,
no, you're right.
And sometimes you'll go in there like, oh, I'm going to do this and that, but something will happen during the trip that will completely rewrite what you had. Like, well, now I got to So I just kind of go in there and film and just like, how can I make this into a video?
This was Pyro's, one of our buddies from Oklahoma. He said, was it Tate that tried to walk down Bluff Creek? Was that you?
The failed BC-19 expedition. I will say in hindsight, well, not in hindsight, I will say that we were told we shouldn't try the hike where we started at.
Yeah.
But once I'm the kind of personality, once I get something in my head, I really want to try it.
Right.
Like, you know, you don't know until you try.
You're the person, like I'm the person on the trip that says, Tate, don't do that. But if you want to, go ahead, and I'll stay up here because somebody has to call 911, right?
We had a few people that were on that side of the group. I mean, and I love the people that did it with, you attempted this with me. You know, we had Jonathan Easley, who I really trust and is a solid researcher and filmmaker. Western Bigfoot Exploration. And then Ron Reed of Trailing Giants. Another solid researcher I trust in the field, and he actually does the narration for my series, the Sabe series.
Yeah.
But he's also in a lot of the videos. And then Kip Morrill, who's at the Bluff Creek Project. He's a retired firefighter. He was definitely instrumental in us not killing ourselves out there.
Yeah, you gotta have that, you know, that the person who has good reasoning skills. Because back when I was younger, I'm too busted up now, but we were outside all the time at night. I've got a question that was sent in by Amanda. Don't know about this. I'm the only one, this other person. So this listener that listens to the show, is good friends with the show, had a question. It says, Tate, do you think Bigfoot in Iowa is just a migratory actually has home habitat there.
Like Bigfoot migrated in Bluff
Yeah.
Creek or habitat?
In Iowa. So you
In
probably know who
Iowa.
asked that.
Oh, is it Jeremiah?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, hey, you got a question I can stir up Tate a little bit? He said, yeah, I got one. Ask him this. But
Hey,
you don't have to answer. I was just
Say the question again. You were laughing. I couldn't actually make out what you were saying.
Look,
I know,
okay,
neither
sorry.
could I was like,
It says, Tate, do you think Bigfoot in Iowa is just migratory or actually has home habitat there, JB? I think you discussed that one time.
I've talked to him about that before. I don't. I think it's a migratory.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Because I mean, there's forest in Iowa. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of deer there, but for something like Bigfoot to live and sustain itself year round there, it's not possible. Because the winters are really brutal there. Like I've seen it where it's been like minus or -4 degrees or even more than that in the winter. So they're definitely not there in the winter. I can tell you that. So I think
there's hardly anything to hide behind either to get out of the wind.
Yeah, especially when there's no tree or like leaf cover up there in the wintertime.
Mhm.
I can't imagine there's a lot of corn and crops growing in the wintertime either.
So
Ground's too hard to harvest and all that.
Well, I know he was messing with you. Get a little
no, but
rise
like
out of you.
that's something
But-
I just think Iowa's a migratory because I think, Iowa's in the middle of Minnesota and Missouri, and southern Missouri has the Ozarks, and then goes further down to Falk, Arkansas. I think they're up in Minnesota in the winter or the summer, and they migrate down south during the winter.
Follow the rivers and stuff, maybe. And
Yep.
Yeah, and playing
that- I mean-
devil's advocate a little bit too. I actually lived in North Dakota for a little while, for a couple of years, and as you know, that's even more desolate than Iowa.
Yeah.
But there in North Dakota and South Dakota, they have reports of Sasquatch there too, surprisingly. So people say the exact same thing. There's nothing there to sustain them, but they still see them. So maybe it's the same thing. They're going from east to west or west to east, having to pass through.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I don't.
If
yeah,
they're not just portaling through, but I'm in the
definitely-
woo camp.
they're definitely seen there, and I have a good friend of mine. His grandfather saw one and reported to the BFRO, and I have the audio interview with him from that.
Oh, that's really cool.
I actually used it in one of my videos, and I can't remember what year that was, but I'll ask him if I can share the audio sometime, and I'll send you guys a link because it's actually pretty cool to hear him describe what he saw and everything. And so
that's the best part about this is hearing the eyewitnesses.
Hearing it firsthand is always really
the
good.
emotion and everything.
Yeah, and so I think there's definitely Bigfoots in Iowa or Bigfoot sightings in Iowa. Do I think they stay there permanently like they would in the PNW? No, because even in the PNW, you can go up in higher elevation and get out of the snow and wind and cold, and go down lower elevation.
And that's just like the elk and other animals do. They move with the food, they move with the weather. That even here, in certain, and it depends. I mean, Tennessee's a diverse state. You get out in the West, it's Mississippi Delta, the River Delta. You get here, you got the Circle Ridge systems. Then you get in the East, you have the Smoky Mountains and the Appalachian chain. So there are hot spots that pop up, and even with our spots here, certain parts of the year's not as active. Maybe it's because of the heat and humidity. And I know y'all went out, y'all were in Iowa, I think when the tree fell that night, and it was hotter than Hades there that night and muggy. I remember when y'all did that, I was talking to Jeremiah and I was in the house sweating. He was headed up there. So
we were there for 2 days. The first day was really hot. Apparently like a road buckled over somewhere in Des Moines.
Oh, snap.
It was so hot. The second day was drastically cooler, and that's when all the stuff happened. We didn't get the tree falling over on audio, but we did get knocks on audio. So I'm pretty confident that we had some Bigfoot action there. And that was actually the first time I ever had anything happen there. I've been going there for a few years before that happened. And I actually was the one who told Jeremiah about that spot, and we nicknamed it the Three Lakes Forest. So it's a good little area up there.
I think this is one of your buddies.
Oh, it's Nikki Cologne. When
am I going to admit Bob is your uncle?
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of news that he is my uncle already.
He is, or
no,
or
that's
you just play. Yeah,
I'm just trolling you guys now.
No, you're good. Wait a minute now,
because I imagine you get asked about it 100 times.
I do. Like,
thanks for that, Nikki.
Especially in the beginning, people are like, "Are you related to Bob?" But I think after all the more podcasts I've done, the more I got my name out there, people know who I am. They probably know it's not. Plus, it's spelled differently. Hieronymus, his is Heironymus. There's 2 I's. And mine's spelled differently.
I'm not gonna lie, I did wonder. I just didn't.
Yeah, it's funny. It's Kip Morrill in the beginning would like, oh, this is Bob Hieronymus's cousin or nephew. Say it.
He has the suit left to him in the closet.
Yeah, it's still an ongoing joke to this day. It's fun. It's a fun tease.
Oh, speaking of ongoing,
make Hieronymus great again.
Speaking of ongoing joke, I hope I have this right, but every now and then a meme pops up with you and Alexander Petikoff, and we're all out in the woods, and what the meme is, it says me with my friends out in the woods, you with your friends after dark, and that's y'all. That's Tate and Alexander.
Alex.
Alex. Yeah,
that was Jonathan Easley took those pictures, and he made the meme. And somehow it went viral, I guess, because we see it pop up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this guy just shared it, and it's got.
Yeah, I see it.
That's me on the left bottom hand side of the screen, and Alex on the right hand side, and that was from the Laird Meadow. That was from the 2021 trip when we had the Rockside incident happen. That was for that trip.
You know what's funny, Tate, and this is a side effect of your videos and other people. When you mention these meadows, Laird Meadow and the other one before, the picture of the meadows pop up in my head because I've watched. I may not know exactly where it's at, but I know what it looks like when you say it. So that's a good thing. I mean, I'm gonna say thank you for doing what you do, because there's not a lot of people doing it, and there's more people that's criticizing. I'll do a video, I'll turn it on, we'll go to the woods. I don't edit. I may start doing stuff like that because I'm starting to learn how to do it. But it just, these type shows have their place, I think. And then knowing that we have people from all over the world, I'll be doing something that doesn't have anything to do with Bigfoot or research, and it might be a cool 45-minute drive of a Christmas light show, and I'll put it on to show people in England or Australia what it looks like, and we get a lot of thank yous, and it's even if you don't get, let's say, a couple hundred views on something, all it takes is one person to say thank you.
Yeah,
it makes all the difference for sure.
You know what's funny? And speaking of one person, I don't get a lot of trolls trolling me very often, surprisingly. I think maybe because I'm too boring to watch, so they just don't bother with it. But if a troll bothers with me, then they have nothing better to do.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't even know where Bluff Creek's at, much less.
I know. All these people, man, you got to be doing. You should be doing this. This is how it's done. I'm like, oh, then do it.
Yeah, try. That's my
more
answer.
Power to you there, buddy.
Hey, that's a great idea. Do that. Let me know how it goes for you.
Yeah.
And look, when you talk about other people that have had incredible things happen to them, it's like Ron Moorhead. He didn't stop at an exit in Smoky Mountains and just happened. Those guys were riding horses way back in the middle of nowhere and putting in the work. me at the shape I'm in now, I have to do, like we call it, road boogering, where we'll go to a spot that we know has been active before or whatever, and maybe do some calls or sit there and have a fire, like you're saying, telling jokes, cutting up. And I found out more stuff has happened after 4 or 5 hours. Like, are y'all going to leave already? We're over here being quiet, and then something gets broken or tossed, so.
Well, it's funny because we do the typical Bigfoot research, like knocks and calls and whatever in Bluff Creek. But the problem with Bluff Creek, I think, people say it's squatched out. There's no squatches there anymore. That's 100%. I don't believe that's true. I think what it is, it's just so many people go there that I think maybe normal tactics are you have to try different outside the box ways of getting a response from them. I think that's key there. So in that area, so a lot of the stuff we do, we'll do like laser light shows and stuff.
I saw that. I have one of those that you put out.
The problem is we can't film it. It's so cool. For one, it doesn't really show up on camera as well as you think it does. And a lot of the music we're using, we can't use it because we'll get copyright strikes on our channel. So we'll probably film like a little bit before and then after to kind of see what happened.
And probably leave recorders out while you're, while the film's not running.
We leave recorders out. So if we get any audio, we'll have it. Then we can share that in the video itself. But that's another thing I don't think people realize is like copyright strikes do exist and they can get your channel taken down. So
I was taken down for 3 months one time.
It's actually kind of scary if you think about it. If like you want to make money or do this, you're like, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. There's so many like little things you gotta not do.
Well, it's just like, have y'all got into the frequency thing where you might have something with different frequencies? Like it can be a song, I noticed, was it you that had a bass guitar behind you in one of the videos?
Yeah, that was the Uncovering the Truth of Sasquatch. I was playing bass at this spot and we got a knock from it.
So
because I think, people play guitar, like people play acoustic guitar camping, or they might have a flute or harmonica.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, let's just take it to the next level. Let's bring a bass guitar with an amplifier and play as loud as I can. And sure enough, got a response from it.
Have you ever thought about dropping it from 440 tune to 432?
I have not. Like I've never really experimented with the frequencies. I don't know much about that. I'm not gonna say I do.
Oh, that's good. You're good.
But like, I think for anything to work, you'd have to have something around you. Otherwise, it's just kind of like doing nothing.
Well, like, you're right. It's like I tell people, if you tell me right now, I'm going to give you $2,000, catch me a 3-pound bass, I'm not going to my bathtub.
No.
You know what I mean? So it don't matter what you do. If you're somewhere deer hunting,
if you have a 3-pound bass in your bathtub already, then I'll go there. But
yeah,
say bass, catfish, take your pick.
Exactly.
I don't right now, but I'm not going to say it ain't never one been in there. So.
It's the perfect aquarium.
That's right. Yeah. I have friends that, they try a little bit, like you said, outside the box thinking, and you get into the 440 pitch, or whatever you call it. And then the 432 songs, if you look up 432 megahertz songs on like Spotify, it's like a soundtrack of my life, songs that I really feel.
Yeah.
And I won't say any names, but as a Southern researcher, meddles with that some, and I just say they don't like Led Zeppelin. So I don't know why that is, but they've had some terrifying stuff with the Led Zeppelin. I don't know what's going on.
If there's terrifying, I want it, so I'm going to play Led Zeppelin more.
Yeah,
I love as a bass player. I love Led. Well, you can see the bass here, right here.
I didn't even see it.
I love John Paul Jones, the bassist for Led Zeppelin. So I'm a huge. I mean,
Okay.
Les Claypool from Primus. I'm a huge Primus fan. My hat that I was wearing is Ween. I love Ween. So
Amanda knows what you're talking about. I'm an old man. I don't know, but
Primus pops up on my shuffle all the time. So
I've seen Primus 7 or 8 times now. I love them.
I like it's just Bigfoot, like John Denver, Rolling Stones. You know, these are all good questions. We don't get to talk about this a whole lot, but with you know, you're out there, and I mean, how do you put this? Everybody don't share what they do for the same reason. Like if I'm turkey hunting, simply turkey hunting, and I've been in an area for 10 years, and I've been using the same box call and the same all this, they recognize that as once you expose yourself that you're a hunter, they recognize that actual call. So why wouldn't it be the same? You know, and I could send somebody to the same area and use that call, and they're not going to get a response usually because the turkey in that area knows. So if I can find it in nature, then you know I'm spitballing. But why can't it be like that? You know,
that's
they're like, oh, here comes Tate again.
Yeah, that's funny. You kind of say that, like using calls or whatever. As a human, I mean, you can buy like turkey calls or whatever that's supposed to mimic them. But with Bigfoot, they don't have a caller you can buy. So you're using your voice. So my good friend Robert Leiterman, who's also a member of the Bluff Creek Project, he's like, I don't like doing calls that much because I think the way he related it, or how I relate it, it's like if I go to Mexico to try and speak Spanish, I can't roll my R's. I don't know Spanish for one. So they would know I'm not even native or can't speak Spanish. And so if I go try to do a Bigfoot call, they're going to know instantly I'm not a Bigfoot.
Right.
But I think the best way to try and trick them, and this is what Robert's like, and I think a lot of people, and I'm kind of on that train now. It's like I don't really want to do calls unless I have to. I like doing knocks because you can trick something a lot easier to get a response back with a knock than you can doing a vocalization.
You're exactly right. So if you've got, you know, we've got audio, people I know has awesome audio. You put it on a spectrograph, whatever. It has a certain signature. That's your voice. That's your voice. So the animals know also. My son practices with deer calls. He does them with his throat, and he uses them, but he studies it. Right. And he's just not buying it off a Walmart shelf and just watching a 2-minute video. You to talk to some, whether it's chickens. Y'all, Hillary, laugh at me right now. I know I'm gonna
you know it's coming.
We had tons of chickens, and I fed them. I was responsible as a kid in making sure they had food and water and whatever. Some of them were in pens, some of them were in the laying house, whatever. And I got to where I could talk to those chickens by using their ways that they communicate with each other. It's not, they don't have a huge vocabulary, let me put it that way. But I could trick them. I could call them in. They think the putts and the clucks, and it all means something different. And when you observe that, you learn their ways, so to speak. So I feel like you have to, if you're going to do a call, you have to be very, very good at what you do, no matter what it is. So I'm the same way. I've never screamed out. Now I'll do a whoop every now and then. I'll change it up.
Yeah. I do these like really high pitched, like loud screams. I don't want to do it here because I'd probably bother my parents downstairs watching TV and make the dogs bark or something. But I like doing whoops or even tandem whoops. Those are fun to do. I like doing those. Those are kind of what I go for.
Do y'all have the owls or any type of owls? I mean, most everybody does, but because here, if there's nothing going on for a few hours, we can do an owl call and get things stirred up.
Yeah,
and not necessarily calling anything in, But if you can get the coyotes stirred up, and people have different ideas of what's going on. Oh, they're working with the coyotes. They may be. I don't know. I've never seen it, but I've seen dogs working with other animals. So, but the thing is, with a turkey hunting or whatever, you can pull up in your turkey hunting spot and slam a car door, and you'll get a shock gobble, a response that's triggered.
Yeah.
So if you get the other animal stirred up, you might trigger a Bigfoot to respond back.
Hopefully, there's coyotes here, but I've never heard them when I've done calls or anything like that. I've heard owls a lot down here. But my first Florida wood knock was down in the Everglades with Alex and Eli. I heard that down here.
Wow.
And then,
that's cool.
I heard 2 crazy wood knocks up where Stacy Brown researches. I was walking a road with RPG and James Brost, and him and I, well, the 3 of us, we heard a knock from our left and then a knock from our right, clear as day, like the crisp, loudest, like the picturesque knock you'd ever want to hear in your life. It was sounded like that. And then another hour and a half later, James, the guy that I was walking the road with, one of the guys, him and I saw an orb.
Oh, wow.
Just like darting through the trees. I'm like, what the heck? It was insane.
And what you're Bigfoot researching. I'm not going to say hunting because people get the wrong idea.
Yeah, the hunting.
Yeah, man, you can get in trouble for using words and not even mean, Okay. Calm down. Okay. But so had you ever seen an orb before in the woods?
Nope. And I'm a flesh and blood believer in Bigfoot. I'm not like a woo kind of person that believes that they're spiritual or whatever. But I've never seen an orb before, and I was like, "Yo."
Have there been reports that you know of in that area of orbs before?
I've never looked into it. I've never really looked into the area up there in Florida. It's hard. I don't get out as much as I want to here in Florida, mainly because it's ridiculously hot and humid. Yeah. And there's so many mosquitoes, and I get bitten alive by these things. And so that really takes the joy out of wanting to enjoy nature and research when you're sweating through your clothes. Like I have to change my shirt in the summer because it'll be soaking wet with just sweat for just standing out there for 10 minutes. We're in southern. There'll be like 50 mosquito bites on my hand and arms. I'm like, dude,
you're talking to people that know here, because Amanda's in North Georgia and I'm in southern Middle Tennessee, so that southeastern muggy heat is ridiculous.
Yeah, the humidity don't play down here, that's for sure.
No, down there humidity,
Florida, it's 10 times worse. Which is
even in the winter, even in the winter time, it's hot and humid. I'm like, dude, doesn't Florida get a break?
Nope.
Well, you get in there where the wind is not touching you off in some of those palmettos, and you suffocate.
Even still, it's just like it's so humid here. Like you can get out of the sun, but you can't escape the humidity. Like camping in it is miserable because you'll wake up sweating or whatever. It's just
and what people don't understand. My wife's from Central Florida. So we go back there sometimes to see the real Florida, and of course I love the beaches too. But what people don't understand is when you're talking about hot, you can be in the shade and feel like you're dying.
Yeah,
so
like being in a sauna 24/7, you just can't escape it.
It's so humid. It's like, man, I just walked through a cloud of water. Like that's what it's like in Florida. You can feel it's hard to describe, but you can feel how thick the air is.
Oh, I know exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You mean.
It's like a weight. It's weird.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit. We all know, unless you're a big production company, you're not making anything off of this. What got you pointed down this road of trying to find the truth and suffering to get it done? What got Tate started with this?
I think just being kind of an oddball, weird person interested in weird things. And I think I can speak to a lot of people who are listening tonight, and like you guys, obviously, we're just rocking it out for the weird. I don't know, just kind of just being interested in that. And I've never really been interested in trying to prove it to people. I just want to go out there and see what's going on and see for myself, And then I've had weird things happen where I can't explain anything other than Bigfoot, in my opinion. And like, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I don't really want to prove it because proving it is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
Right.
And so now it's just kind of like, I want to go out there for the experiences. And when you have something happen, and it's very shocking, you have a lot of adrenaline. Like when my thermal video,
mm-hmm.
I had so much adrenaline pumping through me. I was so freaked out and scared, but at the same time, I was so excited that this was happening. I'm like, there's no way this is happening right now. And like, I feel like I won the lottery kind of thing. Like, it's so
you
weird.
won the Bigfoot lottery that night for sure.
Yeah, it's so weird.
You've got so much to take in, even though you're looking for proof for you. When something does happen, it's so rare, it's mind bending in a way.
It's like, well, yeah, because you're seeing something like you've been told your whole life does not exist. You're like, okay, I'm a very religious person too. I won't get into that, but I don't believe in ghosts. But I know there are demons that can, do. So I don't know if Bigfoot's that, and I don't really like getting it. I don't do paranormal stuff.
I understand.
I don't mess with that stuff at all.
Right.
Hey, same. I do not mess with that at all.
You want to see rods jump out a window, pull a Ouija board out?
Yeah.
I don't want no part of it.
I'm like, no, I don't even buy movies that really have that kind of stuff in it. I just don't want that in my house or around me. And so, I don't think Bigfoot is paranormal, and until it's proven flesh and blood or paranormal, for sure,
right,
then I'm still going to continue looking for Bigfoot. And when I had that thing happen, I was like, maybe something is there that's not real, or flesh and blood, but man, until I get conclusive evidence.
Right. And that's smart. And if y'all in chat, people are listening, that doesn't mean he doesn't have an open mind. It's like,
yeah, you can still be open-minded, but I just don't. I mean, to some people, like, man, it's either you're this or that, It's like, I don't have
why
to
not
believe,
both? You can be
I don't
both
have to believe in ghosts to not believe in Bigfoot, or I still have somewhat of an open mind.
And I was interviewing when I first started this. This lady had me on, and what do you think about the connection between Bigfoot and UFOs? Well, I've seen a UFO before. It is all it could be. So anyway, that's another story.
Mm-hmm.
But I told her, I said, I haven't witnessed that. I've heard a few people say they have. I said, now, if a UFO lands in front of me and a Bigfoot steps out, I'm calling you up. And I said, hey, guess what I saw?
Yeah.
I can't, if you put it to the, exactly. So it's weird. It's like, I always have to say, well, this is my opinion. You always lead with that because you do think about this stuff. If you're doing what you're doing, what we're all doing, you do have that over in the corner, like, okay, let's leave this over here just in case, and
we'll save it for
yeah.
It's I want to point out, to going along with what you said, because I feel like people are gonna be like, well, Tate said this, and then when I saw that orb, we did have Bigfoot activity. I don't think they're related. I think it was just a coincidence. I just wanted to make that clear so people were like,
well,
this and that,
Well, okay, so I feel like with the experiences we've had with witnesses, in the places we've had them, I feel like it's the area that is conducive to some of that stuff, whether it's full of quartz. Thank you, Katie G, full of quartz in the ground,
Yeah.
or whatever, and then you have it's really rural to start with. It may be a spot that has, because I've seen a few orbs myself, and
this was the first one I've ever seen before, and it was funny because I was listening to.
What color was it?
It was bright blue and had like a kind of a
electric
bluish
type
tinge halo around it. It was weird, and it was the size of it had to be about softball, maybe a little bit bigger.
Oh my god!
It was just me and my friend. I was like, I'm going to record audio in case we get a wood knock or something for some dumb reason, and so I had my phone just recording audio, and I think it was sitting on the hood or the trunk of somebody's car, and then me and James are just in the dark, just talking, and a couple people over there talking. And all of a sudden, James and I are just, you hear us both on the audio go, "Whoa, do you see that?" It was crazy. And bright blue ball light, rushing back in the trees, zigzagging. It was the weirdest thing. I've never seen that in my life.
Was there a stream or waterfall nearby?
Nope. Okay. There might have been water. I have never seen it in the daytime. We got there at night. Okay. It was also, I'm trying to remember what year it was. 2022? Yeah, 2022, I think. January. Yeah, January 2022. It was really cold that year. Like, we were in Ocala, and it was like 30 degrees at night. And we were up because the place where I saw the orb and got those crazy knocks was a place where Stacy researches.
Wow.
And I've never been there.
And for people joining late, you're talking about Stacy Brown, right?
Yeah, Stacy Brown.
Yeah.
So we went up to his spot, and I never seen it during the day because we were caravanning with a bunch of people, and so we had that stuff happen. Stacy's kind of an open-minded person. He's like, dude, I've been kind of more open-minded about it because I've been hearing Bigfoot. I've been getting Bigfoot activity as well as seeing these lights.
Right.
But it was funny because I was listening to Cliff and Bobo's show, and they had Moneymaker on, and Moneymaker was talking about how I think there's different parts in the U.S. where I think something had to do with the magnetic plates or whatever underneath the earth is stronger in areas than others. Mm-hmm. And it can cause these balls of light to pop up.
Exactly.
So I don't know if it's that or not. I don't know. It sounds like a possibility. I haven't researched that tectonic plates in the U.S., so I can't tell you.
Real quick, I saw a documentary probably 20 years ago or more where they were seeing lights like that, coming up. And basically, a couple of scientists went out and said they saw them. And they're like, wow, what? How does this work? They tested the soil, and a lot of our old-time listeners have heard this before several times. But they found lithium on one side, and they found something on the other side, and sulfur in the water, which made one big battery, electrical charge.
Yeah.
And on certain nights when, like you said, when it's clear and cold or whatever, if the conditions are right, then these balls come up. I'm going to send you the video. I'm not going to play it here. The video that the orb we caught on thermal a few months ago.
I do want to see it.
It's a really neat video for sure.
It's crazy. And when you said softball size, you see me lean back. I'm like, oh crap. But yeah, we had something happen last night. We went to try to see the Northern Lights, and we got way out of town on our north end hotspot. And Heather's like, "Oh, what is that? What is that?" And I didn't see it, but apparently there was a white light going through the woods, and not zigzagging, but just it wasn't steady, So I didn't see it. It only lasted a couple of seconds, but we have seen orbs there before. There's a lot of rock outcroppings and different minerals and stuff. So maybe I feel like I don't discount. And it's hard when you have one word that covers everything. Like, it's just like Sabe. There's other words. There's other Native American words. So when we say orb or we say woo's the thing that all inclusive.
I feel woo is very. I feel woo is like a slang term.
Almost, yeah. I'm not a fan of the term either.
Well, I've seen
and paranormal sounds like. And paranormal sounds like it only encompasses like ghosts, but technically the definition of paranormal is unexplained. So,
and that's exactly.
So in technical terms, Bigfoot could be paranormal, you know,
And,
or even orbs for that matter. Whatever they are, I don't know, you know.
right. And I like that about you. I don't know. That's a good answer. But you keep your head on a swivel. I think it was Glenn, Bigfoot dwarf, that he was with some guys and saw orb. Was that wasn't Bluff Creek area, was it? Do you remember?
I know Glenn has seen orbs before. I don't know if I've been with him when he's actually seen orbs, but I know he's seen them before. Yeah.
Okay. So here's a question everybody always wants to know. You might already answered it, but what if you do this for any amount of time, sometimes you get in situations like the oh crap moments, What
Yeah.
has there been a time that you thought, what am I doing out here and how do I get out of this mess?
To be honest, I don't think I've ever had one of those like I'm in very big trouble moments.
Okay.
There's been
That's
weird.
fair.
There's been weird.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Thankfully, that has not happened yet. There's been maybe some close calls, I guess, but nothing that's like been like, oh my god. I guess the weirdest thing that one could say would be that was we were with Alex and Eli doing STM. It was Bigfoot Mountain was the episode. It was after Bigfoot at Bluff Creek. It was like the 4th Beyond the Trail episode. But it was me, Ron, Reed, and we were with Alex and Eli, and we were sent to a spot to check out, but we got there and there's like this satanic cult there.
Oh,
and
no.
I can't remember who walked down to the car, and there was like a little small animal skull on the dash, and these people had like a fire, and it was just really bizarre. And myself and Alex were carrying guns, and we still didn't want to camp there. Obviously there was people, but I'm like, no. So we went to another area.
People are scary.
People are more scary than the other things we're hunting in the woods.
Exactly.
From what I've heard on Cliff and Bobo show about Humboldt County, it's kind of like the hollows down here. They used to have the moonshiners. It's something different, but you don't want to walk in on something you don't need to see.
Well, yeah, you got to be really so. Like for Bluff Creek, I know it decently well. And my rule of thumb for out there is like I only go to places to Bluff Creek I've been shown. Even though I know the area well, and I'm pretty sure I'm confident if I go down somewhere I'd be okay. I don't want to chance it because I'd rather live than chance something just to see something I might think is okay.
Right.
Because there's cartel up in those hills. Like legit Mexican cartels, and not just Mexican. There's like, I was talking to Glenn because Glenn used to live up in that area for a while, and he's like, yeah, there's like Mongolian cartels and Asian cartels and the Mexican cartel. And there's so many cartels you gotta watch out for.
Right. So my God.
You're up in no man's land. Like you're up in the hills. There's no cell reception. Very few cops in between. Like people are fine. There's like bullet holes and like road signs everywhere. You leave a car out there for a day and you're gonna get the windows shot out and the tires blown off. Or
wow,
it's bad. Yeah, we're like you don't want to leave a car unattended out there. Because it becomes target practice.
Well, okay, Tate, I'm glad you said that because those are need to know facts for people who might want to follow in your footsteps and go to areas.
Yeah,
y'all always do a little research and before.
Really, if you're very smart about going to places, let people know where you're going. Always be safe while traveling. Don't go to areas you haven't been shown, especially areas that are big like that. And if you just be smart basically, and you'll be okay. Don't put yourself in any position that would allow you to get in trouble.
Right. Always be where you can take care of yourself.
Exactly.
So with that, we're gonna mark California off the list. Okay. What is a couple of your favorite spots that you've been to?
So yeah, we can't do Bluff Creek. We can't do California because that's obvious.
No, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking it away from you.
Dang. Other favorite spots? There's one spot in Oregon, Mount Hood, but I can't say the name of it. We dubbed it Melody Camp. My friend Ron got this amazing audio, like sing-song vocalization from there.
Oh, wow.
And so that's a spot I try to hit up every time I go out there now. I really like that spot. And then, honestly, I did see someone in the comments say it earlier, Bumping Lake. I've been wanting to do more exploring out there, and I know a lot of researchers out there that got some stuff. So, yeah, Bumping Lake and then Melody Camp in the Mount Hood National Forest area. Those two areas I like a lot.
So, I know your circle is pretty big with legit documentarians, if that's a word, and researchers. Yeah. Have you ever, while you were out, I know you ran into the bad people, but have you ever run into any Bigfoot researchers that you didn't know, either on the way or once you got to a place?
Well, to be honest with you, that's how I actually made a lot of my connections, because I don't like conferences or groups of people. I think maybe I've been to maybe 3 conferences in my whole life. And mainly it's because I've known people that were there and I just wanted to see them again. But yeah, my very second time to Bluff Creek, I happened to run into Cliff and Bobo there. And Tom Yamarone, for all those old school people who know Tom Yamarone, really cool guy. And there's another guy named Terry Smith who was there. He was a researcher, Bigfoot guy who's good friends. And then from just going to Bluff Creek, that's how I met Robert Leiderman, Rowdy Kelly of the Bluff Creek Project, Kip Morrill. And that's how I became a member of the Bluff Creek Project. It was just going up there and, trusting those guys, getting their trust and being good friends. And I love those guys. I fell in a good group of people. That's how I met Jonathan Easley was going to Bluff Creek. I met Ron Reed going to Bluff Creek. I met pretty much a lot of people that I know going to Bluff Creek.
Amanda, when we interviewed Daniel Perez, he had gone there a few times too, and I noticed he was in one of your videos you were in, Tate. Mm-hmm. I could talk to him for 2 days, and I like hearing the stories of the names that you bring up. I don't care what it is. If you're playing a sport or if you're doing a job and you have really good management, teachers, trainers, that kind of molds you into what you are.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree. Because I think if I fell in with a different group of people, it'd probably be a little bit different of how I do things, or maybe not, because I'm very OCD about things, so it has to be like. So I probably wouldn't have swayed, but I'm lucky that I've fallen into the group of people that I have fallen with. So I owe a lot to those people. Yeah, and then Thomas. Well, I've been Facebook friends with Thomas Steenberg for a few years, but I got to meet him for the first time in Bluff Creek.
You've just been meeting everybody up there.
I'm telling you, it's like if you think of how there's certain places in Hollywood people go to maybe meet a celebrity. That's what Bluff Creek is like. If you go to Rodeo Drive in LA, where all the celebrities like to be or are spotted, that's like what Bluff Creek is like.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You never know who's going to show up there. You're like, oh, there they are. Hello.
Well, what's funny
somebody in chat says the only person you haven't met there yet is Bigfoot.
So I love watching I've become friends with people just by happenstance. I know this lady made a comment on Twitter one time. I just started when I first started following Bigfoot accounts and all that. And then you weed them out as you go. You don't know who's who.
Exactly.
And this person had an encounter, and she put the short Twitter version, and she said it tossed a rock at him. And like, that's big, because we've had rocks tossed at us, not whizzed like a baseball. So right. I sent a message or whatever. and we interviewed her. And then I see on one of your documentaries, our friend Ontario is in one of those.
Yeah,
Richardson, and
mm-hmm.
and what's wild is we met because of one word she typed, and it was tossed because now I know they throw them. I have people, but I was just getting into this. And I'm like, hey, can you tell me what happened? Because we had the same thing happen, and that's the way that started. And she does some pretty good work. She had a video that went viral, the snow trackway. Maybe she can come on sometime and talk about that. But
yeah, I think Ontario's a solid researcher. There's not a lot of female researchers in the Bigfoot subject, and when there are, you just hope they're not trying to sell their body to get followers like some people out there.
Yeah, I've seen. Look, all of us that have TikTok or whatever, you see that stuff. And this doesn't have anything to do with Bigfoot, but there's this young lady
they just want to get famous,
super talented singing. And the first few videos she did, I was like, oh man, it's obvious what she was doing. But then she stopped, and so now I can watch the videos in public. It wasn't nothing really bad. It just, she was showing a little more than she should have. And I'm like, oh, don't do that. You're so talented. And then somebody must have talked to her. And now, oh man, that doesn't have a thing to do with Bigfoot, but well, the way you make money is clicks and views and all that. And I understand it. I'll say I'll never have, that many followers and subs because I'm an ugly old dude. So
yeah, I can't show my chest and people click on it.
It has the opposite effect, right?
It's like, I'm gonna block this channel.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And as a woman in this wheelhouse, I reckon you want to call it that, it can have the opposite effect too. It's like all of a sudden all these guys come out of the woodwork and they're like, oh my god, it's a woman and she likes Bigfoot, I must speak to her, I must shoot my shot. And like all of a sudden you're getting like 1,000 messages and all
are you married?
Oh my god, you're so pretty.
Exactly.
Are you married? I'm just like, oh my god, just leave me alone, just go away.
Well, that's why awful. Like you, Amanda, or Ontario, or like people like Kathy Strain, the female researchers that actually care about the subject, and there's very little of those types of female researchers, and when there are, it's a breath of fresh air, honestly. So
yeah,
I appreciate you guys for doing that.
Well, when it hit me, Tate, I was discussing with somebody, female researcher, and she made a comment that hit me right in the chest. It was true. She said, well, I feel like we have a better chance because you guys walk in with your pew-pews and like you own the woods. Well,
and men are very ego driven too. And,
right.
And with Bigfoot subject being a male dominant subject matter, there's a lot of ego going around.
Yes, sir, there is. Whew, it can be rough sometimes.
Oh, it's we had a meeting, an unofficial meeting, Tate. It was me and a few other podcasts that we've got to be really good friends, like family almost. And we need to talk about this certain thing that's going on. And we all made the decision. Don't respond to none of the crazy stuff. Don't like it. Don't dislike it. If somebody comes to you and asks you, like, I don't know what you're talking about, because you don't want to get mixed up in the drama. And there's a guy I knew really well one time. He gained a lot of subs and because of the drama, but it didn't work out for him. So
it's very easy to get caught up in drama, especially if you care about the subject, like genuinely care, because you're like, this person's making a disgrace. I need to stand up for it and defend it from this person that just wants to get views and subscribers. And because I think a lot of people see this and like, oh, I can make easy money doing this because people are buying this stuff. They'll like believe anything. So they're using the gullible portion of the Bigfoot community to sucker in, I guess.
Yeah, and yeah, we'll stop right there because if we get talking about,
I could go on. I could go on so much.
Yes, sir.
If you really want to hear me go on a rant about it, just watch Nikki's shows. Rent on.
That's a good question. Have you ever? You don't have to mention any names or anything like that, but have you ever encountered any attempted hoaxes?
Like that were happening when I was in a place, or no?
Probably, yeah, or somebody, yeah. It's like I've only found tracks 4 times, Tate, and it's like scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl type feeling. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And but the first thing I did was look around, see if somebody's punking me, and then you look and you're like, well, wait a minute, that don't look like a snowshoe. It don't look like a board cut out. It looks like something alive made it, and without going into that,
yeah,
you can tell. But we want names. No, you don't.
No, you don't. I have a list of names.
Yeah.
But I haven't run into like any hoaxing out in the field that I'm aware of. I've seen like tree breaks before. I can be very wary of those, especially like, okay, if I'm here, that means other people can get here. And with Bigfoot being so popular more than it has been ever, with podcasts and stuff, people can just learn about something about Bigfoot real quickly and go hoax something.
You brought up something right there. That's why I love the 65-year-old people that don't watch podcasts and don't know what finding Bigfoot is. You talk to them and they're telling you what they encountered, what they saw. They don't know these words that some people use.
It's funny because I can't remember who I was talking to, but I mean, you can call them a hoaxer if they're not even a Bigfoot person that's hoaxing. But it's like all these people have like a little tell, especially if they're being interviewed. It's like, oh man, I was listening to a Bigfoot podcast and I heard about this and that. And then when I was out there, this happened. I'm like, or maybe you're listening to a Bigfoot podcast and you did this. And then you were saying you wanted to have an encounter. And then you talked about it on the show. I don't know if it's all true or not. I don't listen to like interview like eyewitness podcasts because I just don't know who that person is really. I'd rather listen to like a researcher being interviewed or somebody that I know, because then I feel it's like it's more genuine. I don't have to sift through whatever might be real or not.
And that's one reason we do the things we do. Normally there's not a whole lot of discussion beforehand. I want to be watching and listening in real time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Amanda, she takes reports all the time at the museum in North Georgia. I picked up some stuff from the sheriff's department years ago, interrogation rooms and all that. Most of the time I'm not on, if it's somebody I don't know, if you build trust over 4 or 5 years, you know what they will and won't do. That's different, right?
100%.
But if you, like you said earlier, you've named people you trust, you have to have those people around you. But if somebody you don't know, I've been talking to people in public and the conversation was over 30 seconds into it. I was just being nice because I'm like, oh, you're full of, you know what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I get people are excited that, oh, you're into Bigfoot. I can tell my story to you. Like, I mean, and I don't try to be rude or like, I don't want people to think I don't care. It's just like, I don't know if I can trust what you're saying or not, because I don't know you. And you're asking me to invest my time into that.
Right.
And so it's, and I'll leave that kind of stuff to people who actually want to listen to the sightings.
Right.
Kind of focus on other things.
And the thing too, like if I say, hey Tate, you need to check this person out, whatever is in your area. If I feel like they're full of it, I'm not going to pass the word along. I don't want to be associated with that part of it either. and this is a good discussion because, the people that are just trying to get the truth out there or find the truth is kind of where we latch on to, because we're the same way. Like picking your brain, it's hard for me to do because I've seen so many of your videos, but our buddy Jeremiah, he was green as this backdrop here. But he has had some stuff. He's had some brown shorts moments, and he's found some, or was there when they found some really incredible handprint tracks, whatever. And I don't think he fully expected that, because it blew him away.
Well, his very first outing was that Iowa trip when we had that tree pushed over. He's like, dude, what was that? It's like, dude, either a tree was pushed over or it fell over. I don't know. I didn't see what happened, but the fact that we had the knocks, I'm pretty confident. And so something I told Jeremiah, I was like, dude, I need to tell you this right now. That we might have had Bigfoot activity this trip. And generally that does not happen ever. The first time out ever. But of all places, Iowa, which I wasn't expecting that to happen. I was expecting nothing to happen. And then sure enough.
So what's we got a question here. Gecko is lethal. Is the thermal footage the best evidence so far that you've collected?
Yeah. And you know, that's the thing about the thermal footage on that video. It's not like the most damning piece of evidence. Like it's a blob squatch video, but like if you actually go to the location and see how hard it is to get to, where this thing was on the ridge of a mountain, and on both sides is very steep. And there's only one way in by car, and if you were trying to sneak around us, we could hear you, unless you were to hike all the way down the bottom and then hike back up.
That was a big old hill.
It's big. And plus it was during hunting season. So I don't know anybody with balls big enough to prank somebody that might have guns, potentially. So obviously not a smart idea. Plus people's eyes don't glow at night. So I don't know. It's a very good area. And, that's the best. Yeah. That's the best piece of evidence I got. I think it's real. If you talk to me or Austin, who was there that night, and see the area for yourself, then it becomes more clear. Jonathan Easley actually made like a really good short 25-minute documentary about it. And he brought up something I never really thought about, but because I was using a FLIR Scout TK, which is 100 yards range or 300 feet. And this was about 100 yards from where I filmed it to where the thing was. And then Jonathan, in one of his videos, brought up a good point. He's like, for a black bear, I think their range of eyesight's not very good, especially at night. It's even worse. So they rely on their sense of smell. I think 30 yards is what their eyesight range is during the day. And if you're talking 100 yards at night, there's no way the thing's going to see us.
Right.
Because if you see the very beginning of the video, if you look carefully, it doesn't, you can't see much detail, but there's like a little white speck, and that's like the head of the thing watching us along this ridge. Then at the very end of the video, it stands up vertically. So the crazy thing was, this thing was seeing us before we saw it. It made us. But when we saw the eye shine, that's when I started recording. Wow. And so at the end of the video, it stands up and walks away. But again, I can't see what I was seeing through the thing. So I was relying on my buddy. We had headlamps on so we could see eye shine. And then he did a couple of calls, and he's like, dude, it's gone. And then we walked back to the truck. Then when I looked on the video, I'm like, dang it. It was there. And then when it stood up, we turned around and walked away. And I was very annoyed at that. And shoulda, coulda, woulda kind of situation. We were so freaked out. We actually went back over to the site after our nerves calmed down to see if we could see any tracks that night. But we didn't see anything. We packed up camp because we were freaked out of sleeping overnight there. Drove all the way back down the mountain. Then drove back up the next day. Then looked around for tracks during the day. And found some possible things. But, regrets. I wish I did not listen to him when he said it was gone. I wish I just kept filming.
Right.
I would have had a lot more information on the video, seeing what was there. And I wish we would have camped there. And I'm telling you right now, it's easy to say, oh, I would have done this or done that. But when you're in the moment, that kind of just flies out the window. You're like, it doesn't.
I know that feeling. Yeah, you can have a plan. Our buddy Greg, and y'all, Greg's doing better. He's getting his strength back. But he has a saying. He says people that want to tell you how you should have done it. He said you can go to the zoo and get all the pictures of the lions you want, real pretty lions. But if I throw you in that cage, plan changes a little bit. And how many pictures you going to get? You know, so it once something happens like that. Now I have recognized this. We talked to a young lady a few weeks ago with her mom, and it hit me that some of the younger people are so quick to catch video to put on TikTok or whatever, Instagram pictures, whatever. They're pretty fast with their camera, which I'm not. I'm more of a safety conscious, like, oh, how do we, what do we need to do now? A lot of them will get that camera out pretty fast. So maybe we need to take a 21-year-old.
Yeah, I mean,
equipment.
It's I mean, for me, it's like if you're on your phone all the time or even filming, you're distracted out there. And it's not only you gotta like be careful of people, but there's mountain lion. It's real danger out there. It's not it's not a joke. And so when you go out there, you're not only just trying to worry about where you step so you don't fall off a cliff, but you're you're watching out for rattlesnakes. You're trying to be aware of your surroundings because, like, in Northern California, I can't remember if the estimate's like around 40 to 80,000 black bears in Northern California, or the state of California. And that's a lot of black bear. But there's also a lot of mountain lion up there too.
There's a lot of land to spread them out.
Yeah. And so you really got to be careful because those animals know that better than you do. Even if you know the area well, you're not an animal. So
yeah,
you have to be really careful.
Yeah, here's another good question that just popped up. It says, what methods of research does Tate want to try that he hasn't yet?
There's a few. I'm almost scared to say what they are because I don't want people taking it before I do them.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Because I will say there was one time. So there's something that happened. It was during the STM shoot for the Bluff Creek. Alex had these pheromone chips he was dragging around camp the whole time. I'm like, dude, okay. We were in Oregon, and I was like, I don't know if anybody's ever stood underneath like a drone before, even just like one of those like DJI drones.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of wind that thing puts off is crazy. Like it's a fan, like a high industrial fan almost. There's so much wind. And so we were in Oregon, and Alex was like going to use the pheromone chip. I'm like, dude, why don't you tie the pheromone chip underneath the drone? Because that smell is pungent.
Yeah.
Then you can fly around and have the fan waft that smell hopefully out.
Good call.
So Alex, we filmed it on the episode for the Bigfoot Mountain. He tied it. It was a little sketchy because it's a rope and like the thing's swinging back and forth.
If he gets hung up in the rotors,
yeah, I was gonna say I bet there's a better way to do it that would be safer so you don't crash the drone. But we did it. We don't know if it worked or not. It was worth an effort or a shot to try. Yeah. And then Alex had his YouTube show, Sasquatch Out of the Shadows, that we would talk about a trip, or he would talk about each trip after filming it. And so we talked about the method we do. But Alex was friends with somebody from a certain show. And then I knew somebody from a certain show. And we know how television producers, they'll scour the internet for things like ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was, when I came up with that idea, everybody around it was like, I've never heard that done before. And we talked about it on Alex's show, and the people that know us know him. One of them has been on the show. We see the trailer for the new season, and what do we see? We see this drone spray pheromone idea.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all pretty convinced they stole the idea from us.
Well, for y'all in chat and people that will listen to this later, he's telling you the 100% truth, because...
Have you seen it? You've seen what I'm talking about?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. And we've said things and, kicked ideas around and people run with it. Well, that's fine. But it's it's kind of like, well, why didn't you contact me and we could have done it? That was my idea, right? So yeah, and it's unfortunately, look here. So you've got shows that they regurgitate everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they've heard or see on TV shows or whatever, and then you got ones that are investigative, that ask questions, and you can have a show that it's all of that, but there's so many now.
Yeah, producers are watching podcasts because there's no way. I promise you, even Cliff and Bubba will tell you, like, even though the producers on the Finding Bigfoot show, and like a lot of the people that worked on that cast were legit, they didn't hoax anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll tell you that I think the first season they were getting producers that were a little getting carried away with trying to make the TV show. They got fired more or less.
They
threatened to walk.
They had an incident where there was a horse in the field and it was standing looking at them, and they teased it to make it look like it was a Bigfoot. And I think the crew or the cast went off.
Yeah, they did not like that because they take it very seriously too. So producers don't care about Bigfoot television because
they just care all about the bottom dollar.
And so the producer's like, hey, I found this idea to do this, because I was watching, and like obviously you don't need to know Bigfoot, or producers will do that, but I was watching like Mythbusters behind the scenes and stuff, and they had a room of producers scouring the internet for ideas or myths for the Mythbusters to try and bust.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like thinking, okay, if a television like that has things, why doesn't a Bigfoot TV? I guarantee you it happens. They have a room of people watching the internet for ideas to try in the field to make it seem like we're doing this scientific thing. I guarantee it's probably been done by some unknown researcher. But because a notable television show did it and saying it's science, it has to be real.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We have a friend. If I said the name, y'all all know. Met him in person for the first time a few months ago, and I said, wasn't that your encounter on something in the woods or whatever? And man, he went off. He said, yeah, it was, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, people twist words and everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the scariest part of that encounter was totally made up. I'm like, are you kidding me? He said, no. He said they wanted some of our evidence to use, some of our audio, and we wouldn't give it to them. And they just got mad and dropped us and did their own thing. So it's hard to,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard plenty. I've heard some, bigger name people in private, like, man, you got to be careful because.
Same here.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it all the time.
Now, I guess, so how do you look at it? Like if you come up with an original idea and other people run with it, me personally, I'm thinking, well, I said it out in public, right? So, and that's why I applaud you for not saying, I know exactly what you're doing.
There've been times I said things I shouldn't have in public, but a lot of the times I stand behind it. So I can't really say I'm just like upset with saying it publicly. Right. How do I feel about people using it? Imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery. So,
yeah.
If we're really doing this for the right reasons, and it does kind of like shock you a little bit. Like, wait a minute, that's really familiar. But when it comes down to it, unless it's something that I spent like, let's say this is different. If you spend 3 months producing an hour-long documentary and somebody just steals it and plays it and puts their name on it, yeah, that's different. But the idea is, if you are sitting here or listening to us, this conversation, and it helps you, and I'm not saying you, whoever it is, if it helps them in their research, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't think it's malicious to hold back information until it's the right time, because you don't want other people like taking something and doing something wrong. It's not about withholding information. It's not like I got this great thing, but I'm not going to say it's not. And I'm not claiming this idea is ever going to work or bring in Bigfoot. It's not like one of those things. Like you always get those people like, I have this idea that's going to for sure fire work, and I can't tell you here because other people will try and take it because I don't want them taking my idea because I know how well it works. Like, yeah,
Right.
if you try and use that caveat, I don't think it's a legit idea. Or I don't know, maybe it's just saving face kind of thing.
Well, it's I was warned when I first started doing this. When I first started doing this, I didn't think we'd end up, here where we're at. But I had a lot of people warning me, well, if you're gonna do this, you need to watch what you say. You need to watch this. And I'm like, oh man, go on. I ain't worried about all that. But it's tough navigating sometimes. It's getting better though. I think I do feel like I've seen improvements. I've seen where people are more open-minded or they understand if I can't tell you right now, but next Thursday I can tell you. Yeah, I mean, because the people that understand are the ones that want the truth too. And like I said earlier, if I've got a good fishing spot, this has happened to me before. I have mentioned that fishing spot and somebody go or 2 or 3 people go and wipe out all the fish and not replace, with other fish. Look, we normally do. We would go fishing, we'd find a good spot, we would catch some, and half of them would go over here in this pond or whatever.
Yeah.
The people that come through that don't care, they come to your spot that you've spent 7 years on and just trample things, cut trees down, leave trash everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're sitting there and you're mad because somebody won't share, that's the reason other people before you have screwed it up. So it's all about the trust.
It's people messed it up for you. Yeah, it's like, hey man, it's not that I don't think it's not like this huge gold mine of a spot for research. It's just because I don't want people going there and messing what I've worked on for years, put my time and money into it, my wear and tear on my car to get to those places. It's not withholding information because I don't have a Bigfoot body that I found there or anything, or I buried it like the massacre theory. It's not like that.
Right.
Well, I'm not hiding the PG film, Patty suit anywhere.
But the thing this is simple as it gets. Even Cliff and Bobo and that crew got tricked. If too many people know where you're going, they'll start knocking on trees and screaming and breaking trees, leaving glyphs, all to mess with you. So yeah,
like even if I say like, hey, I'm going to this spot, like even if I publicly say like on this live, like, hey, I'm going here, Bigfoot blogging. If I'm going here at this spot during this month, I'm okay with that because I didn't say the exact day I'm going.
Right.
Yeah. So true. You just have to guess what day I'm going to be there. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to spend a week until I show up or somebody shows up there to start hoaxing them.
Here's a good question. This is one of those questions that everybody asks, but it's a good question. Tate, other than DNA from a dead Bigfoot, what can we researchers look forward to the ultimate reveal to scientists and the public? P.S. Love to see you again. That's such a
hard question to really
answer.
It is.
Like, you need DNA to really move the ball down the field, so to speak.
But the thing is, you have to have that first one, right? You have to have the DNA. You have to have a group of scientists extract the DNA. And then you put it in the database. Then the second one, you know what I mean? You can't find DNA if the creature doesn't exist in the database. You can find all the DNA you want. You run it through it. It's not going to match up to anything.
Yeah.
So you have to have that one. Once you get that one, then you can look, well, you know what? It shows it's almost exactly like it. There's a little bit of variation. Well, that might be the skunk ape, or that might be, type 2.
That's kind of funny you say that, because we were in Bluff Creek, I think 2023. We found some hares. Ron found some hares, and then we had them analyzed. Damon found some hares, and the hair he pulled matched exactly what you would look for, the Fehrenbach standard for Bigfoot hair. RPI, by the way. But you look for those characteristics, blunt, not tapered end, no medulla. And so we found some hairs. Ron and I did. We had them analyzed. Some hairs had no medulla, and some hairs had fragments of a medulla. And it made us wonder. I wonder would because hair, it's not proven to be Bigfoot one way or another because there's very little evidence of it out there. But it got me thinking: would hair from your arm be different from hair on your chin or your hair? Because I think beard hair is more coarse than the hair on your arm would be. So would the hair on my beard have a medulla versus the hair on my arm have a medulla? I don't know.
I think Amanda's writing that question down.
Would hair, because when hair
I've been taking notes all night.
It's like from hair from a Sasquatch, would it be different from if it came from its hand versus if it came from like the part of its face? Would there be medulla? You don't know that. So until you get way more, I think, in my opinion, if you get way more hair collection from different parts of the body or different animal, I think it's still up in the air, in my opinion. It's still a viable way to get closer to maybe finding if something is out there versus nothing. So, but I think for as evidence is concerned, I think the best evidence that won't lie is tracks.
Well, here's another thing. You can look at it like this. I had to fingerprint and send them off to the TBI and FBI. I was a young guy working at the sheriff's department, and people don't. This is simple. A lot of you may know this when I say it, but some people don't. I could go and do all the mischievous things in the world, steal stuff, do things, and leave my fingerprints everywhere. If it's not in that database, there's nothing to match it to. Until you catch me and fingerprint me,
you're a ghost.
That's right.
Yep.
So people are like, well, what about, it's good questions. What about DNA? If we don't have anything to compare them to that's deemed legit, then it's not going to mean anything, but you still need to collect it, because one of these days you're like, oh, well, then they start, once that one chip falls or whatever, domino falls, then all this stuff has been collected for decades will fall into place. So, it's not, like, oh, well, you drank from a cup, I got your DNA. Yeah. But if
you're not in the database anywhere, you're
all right.
It's kind of funny because it reminds me of that movie Catch Me If You Can, right? I like that movie with Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio. They were trying to find anything on this person committing these crimes, but they didn't have a database to find who this kid was because he was a kid, so he had no record.
Right.
So he's like, I didn't know who he was, but the reason he found out this was a kid is because there was a phone call in the movie he had, and he said his name was Barry Allen, which Barry Allen's the Flash. And only a kid would know that reading comics, but the Tom Hanks character, the FBI, didn't know that until this waiter said, oh, you're a collector? And he saw the name Barry Allen. He's like, Barry Allen, the Flash. So, yeah, if there's no large database of hair analysis to say this is Bigfoot, you're not going to say, it's not going to prove it one way or another.
Yeah, right now, we have an idea of what we're looking at.
We have an idea, general idea.
We have an idea. I sent a hair into Doug. Before I sent it, he was asking me questions. He was checking off checking the boxes. It checked off all the boxes. Plus, it had some weird anomalies to it. It could be nothing, but knowing what he knows, and he's been around researchers and scientists and stuff. Once he deemed it okay, might be worth my time. Send it on in. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think collecting data is the hardest thing. I think for something like hair you would want like a trifecta, I think, almost, or even just, you'd want footprints to go along with the hair finding that you had. That would go a long way, right. I think. But the spot where we found one of the guys found the hair that was possibly legit Bigfoot hair, there was some tree breaks nearby that seemed out of place.
So you've got when you find a piece of evidence by itself, it doesn't mean much. But when you start finding part 2, number 3,
Yep.
4A, and then it starts to tell a story in that area. So yeah, you're.
I don't know if you watched the very first Bluff Creek. It was the second episode I think I did for the Sabe series. There's a part in there. I think that video is like an hour long or something. But there's a part in there where we're on this paved road. It's called the Go Road, and I think that road. I've heard knocks on that road in the winter before, and I think it's a good area because it's like the Go Road goes. It connects from Highway 96 and pretty much goes 30 miles into the Siskiyou Wilderness and through Bluff Creek and everything. So, and it's not a public. I mean, it's a public road, but it dead ends, so there's no reason for people to travel on it except for locals or people hunting. And we were walking that road at night. It was me, Ron, and my buddy Stevie. We were walking that road, and we were doing some calls. We heard some. I think what we determined it might have been was a flagellated owl, because we were hearing it respond back to us. We didn't know. We asked somebody back at camp, but we found this really big tree break that didn't seem like it came from a person hoaxing. And then a few yards up the road, there was like these weird track lines on these pine needles on the side of the paved road. I was like, that's interesting. We found a tree break or a broken tree, and then these possible tracks. So that's another incident where we found
starting to add up, right? And
yeah,
I think sometimes the subject is so romanticized, and people think they're monsters and all that. If they're leaving evidence, if I was tracking a deer like that, or a person, or whatever, I wouldn't have a problem saying, "Hey, it went this way," and whatever. But because it's Bigfoot, sometimes people are like, "Oh, you can't prove it. You can't look. Something big moved this way, and manipulated the forest." So yeah, it's so funny. We go back to the naysayers, which we need them. If it's constructive criticism or good questions, you need that.
Yeah. And I have no problem admitting, like, okay, maybe that tree break we found was done by a human. And obviously with tracks, unless there's clear physical features in it, if it's a human-shaped track, it very well could be a human too.
Right.
Because it's not in a place that's very hard to. You could drive your car to it, and you could drive a Tesla or like a Lamborghini up to that spot and be okay, because it's a paved road.
And that's a good point, because you said earlier you found something in a spot. If you're in the Smoky Mountains, and that place is one of the most visited parks each year, and it's an easy access, a spot along a trail that's used all the time by everybody, and you find something, you can't say that could be. Well, I guess you could say it could be, but if you're on the Appalachian Trail and then you veer off of it 3 miles to go to a waterfall that like only 12 people in the entire history of the world's ever seen, and you start finding evidence, that's a little different.
Yeah.
And we know that. I'm stating the obvious, but Tate, we got people that are coming into this. They're new. They might be the first time they've ever watched a show like this. And so I have to keep it, I have to realize I've got very inexperienced people with really, really good researchers. And so when you say, well, that was kind of obvious. Well, it is to some people.
Occam's razor, the most obvious answer is the answer. It's a good way to. You have to have good fundamentals with the Bigfoot research, in general, because otherwise everything's going to be Bigfoot,
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's I swear that's Bigfoot, but it's really not. I mean, if you think about it, again, California has the highest population of black bear. And you could spend 2 weeks and never see a black bear in Northern California in Bluff Creek. There's been times that's happened, but they're there just because you don't see them. But you still, you want to be careful when you're looking at possible evidence for Bigfoot, because you don't want to come up like everything's Bigfoot. You want to be rational. You want to be critical thinking. You want to see, okay, are there people out here? Were there people out here recently? Is there somebody out here I don't know about? Maybe there's another car here. Stuff for things like that. You want to be taking those consideration. How accessible is this spot? Because that where that rock slide incident is, I don't think a lot of people who go out there that don't know the area would think that's an area where Bigfoot would be. Because like you to get to that spot where the rocks came down, you have to bushwhack this old logging road that's decommissioned now, and it's like trees and branches overlining. And to get up there, it's a good vantage point. You can see the road, you can see lights coming in at night, especially. So I think it's a good vantage point for any predator, but your average person who's interested in the Bigfoot subject would not know about that area up there.
Think about this. It might scare you a little bit. Y'all might have walked through an ambush point and made it out because, like you said, you had the high ground, watching over something in the creek. We've heard stories of them funneling from eyewitnesses, funneling deer.
I think we were interrupting something, them hunting or whatever. Because, don't get me wrong, bears and mountain lions are very smart. A cat are smarter than a bear, in my opinion. Just 100. I think that's just a given, in my opinion. But I don't think an animal is that smart enough to distract us from scaring whatever we were scaring down there. Because I think, like you're saying, one had the high ground, one had the lower ground. I think animals do that for hunting in general if they're smart. We've seen it with people. I think a lot of first Native American tribes will do that. Back in the day, they'll use the high ground, low ground, kind of funnel something in the middle. So I think when we were out there, something was up above, and then we were unbeknownstly throwing rocks down, terrorizing something down there. We had no idea. And so whatever was at top distracted us to get us their attention, and it worked. Because when we were looking up there, we heard something walking, and we fell right into it.
And once again, there shows intelligence.
It was very coordinated how it felt.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It was really weird.
Anybody got any questions? We hit 2 hours, 6 minutes ago, and everybody knows I can talk for 8 or 10 hours, but
yeah,
we're gonna leave enough. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you saying yes. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, but it's like you can only do so many shows. I'm not going to do 3 or 4 or 5 shows a week because I feel like that kind of takes away from the quality. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm trying to say no to doing more podcasts because like it's hard. I kind of want them to be special now, and if you do so many of them, you kind of run out of things to talk about, kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah, usually, I've got people coming up in the next few weeks. I know they have incredible stories, incredible research. I want to hear it for the first time, if possible, right here, and have trigger questions and all that. So, we got a lot of questions. Where's Tate researching next? What area? Not exactly.
Next, I don't know really. Probably Atlanta. I'll be up there.
If you get down this way, we've got some spots for you to check out. So just give me a holler.
Yeah, well,
not saying I'll go. I'm just like, look, you need to go.
Yeah,
you need to go and check this out.
There's actually I think the spot that I'm going to return to, Amanda, you know it. There's a cool waterfall over by that area. It's a spot where Alex and Eli went to, and we got rained out really bad. And I was like, this is a good area, and I want to return back to it. So I'm going to check that out. I'm actually going up to Atlanta for a concert, but I figured I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone and do both.
Hey, you're in the area, might as well.
Yeah, only an hour drive,
Well, keep doing what you're doing. I talked to Doug a while back, and I told him, I appreciate what you did and the Monster Quest thing and how it helped people like me that had encounters way back. And he was laughing. He said, well, I don't know. When it was on, people were like, where did my history stuff go? Why are we talking about Bigfoot? Why are we talking about pterodactyls and stuff. But the people that really appreciate it usually don't say anything. So I take time to, thank you for what you do and keep it up, because I enjoy it. I mean, I'm a sucker for a walk alone. I mean, I love the woods. If I can't be out in the woods, I would gladly watch y'all do y'all's thing. So y'all.
Yeah. You know what's funny? It's kind of sad real quickly too. I think I've become a little bit bitter towards people and their encounters. The longer you stay in this, it kind of happens, I think. Because when you're in the beginning, you kind of have sensory overload,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But then after a while, you're like, it takes a lot to impress me now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and it's not anybody's fault. It just happens,
Well,
it's the truth of it. It is.
It's a progression of, you come in all wide-eyed and into the subject. You're right. I've had to take breaks. I've had to step back and this is too much.
But like if you hang around, if you hang around a lot of people who have nice cars all the time, and like at car shows, and you're kind of known for that, and then somebody comes up like, you see my car? I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Get kind of.
It's like, I'm sorry, it doesn't impress me because I'm like around these cars all day, and
right,
or whatever.
I totally understand what you're saying. You get desensitized to some things, and
you really do.
After you can do the same thing watching old. Well, now there's only so many plots that you can do for a 30-minute comedy show or an hour and a half movie, and as you get older, you're like, oh, I know what's going. I've heard this a million times. So
even movies in Hollywood, just because I like movies, I like watching behind the scenes. Like even a lot of movies nowadays that come out of Hollywood, I am very unimpressed. Like I do not care for the new Jurassic Park movies or the Star Wars, because there's no originality anymore. There's no originality
none whatsoever. You can figure out the plot of it within 15, 20 minutes what's going to happen. You're like, I bet you this is about to happen, and sure enough, it does.
Yeah. I don't watch any Marvel movies anymore hardly, because they're right now it's quantity over quality.
Right.
At this point, I'm like, it's so bad. There's so many. It's the same thing over and over. And even just one-off movies that have nothing to do with any series or anything. Like a good movie is Knives Out with Daniel Craig.
Oh yeah.
Like those two movies, those are great. I love those.
When you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
There was I saw something yesterday, probably on TikTok. It said that the Fast and Furious.
There's so many of those movies.
Fast and Furious, and what was the movie with Swayze and Keanu with the surfer?
Oh,
Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break.
They said they're the exact same movie, and they broke it down. The plot, it was exactly the same, except just different.
Jurassic Park, the Jurassic World, the first one, is basically Jurassic Park.
It basically is. It's just
except for the only difference is the island with the dinosaurs, the visitor center, that was all up and running at that point.
Mm-hmm.
In the first movie, it was just they're coming here to okay the park to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
The second Jurassic World was the second Lost World. The dinosaurs went to the mainland. Who saw that coming?
Right. Next, they're gonna be next. I think if you follow the Freddy Krueger and Jason, next thing they're going to be on a spaceship somewhere, going to another world to survive.
It takes a lot to impress me nowadays. I'm like,
I understand. Well, look, thank you for coming on, and I do totally understand, because I've told my story so much. At first, I couldn't get it out quick enough, and it very therapeutic and whatever. Now I will tell it, but
it's you don't want to anymore. It's like,
yes, actually.
But I go back to, okay, somebody asked me to be on. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And I'm not being cheesy here, but if it helps one person, you know what I mean? I went through the same thing as you. I saw the thing. I couldn't talk about it. And everything that I say has been said before. So it's not really it wasn't a terrifying encounter. It was just an encounter that was real, and it lasted about 30 seconds. So, it gets old listening to me myself tell the original story. So
I do want to say this real quickly. I always like this little fun fact about me and somebody very prominent in the Bigfoot world. So obviously Hieronymus is very infamous with Bigfoot because of Bob Hieronymus.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to make the Hieronymus name great for Bigfoot, trying to restore it,
I understand.
But
it's because you are doing it for the right reasons.
That's exactly it. And what's
Yeah.
funny about that is I end up in Bluff Creek working with the Bluff Creek project. Sorry. And I'm very heavily with that whole thing. And I love the PG film is what really got me into it. But I'm from Kansas City, Missouri originally. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
Get this. You know who else is from Missouri originally?
Patterson.
Bob Gimlin.
Oh,
yeah.
I was throwing it out there. You know where Belton's at?
Yeah, it's near Harrisonville.
My brother-in-law is a superintendent of schools there.
Yeah, Belt. I have some friends that live near Belton. I'm there all the time because I travel through that way. So I stay with my friends up there. And yeah, Bob Gimlin's from Missouri. He's a Missouri boy, and I'm from Missouri. My name's infamous in Bigfoot, and Bob Gimlin and I got to be in the film site together.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was really special.
That's
two Missouri
cool synchronicities there.
Two Missouri boys that are defined by Bigfoot and are generations apart meet up.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
That's cool. Y'all, thank y'all so much. It's like I said, we didn't have a plan, but I don't think it could have went any better. A nice conversation. I think when people are sincere about it and you can have those conversations, great questions from the chat. We don't get to all of them. Some of them had been answered early on when we first started. So if y'all go back and watch the first, 20, 30 minutes before you got here. One last thing, Southern goodbye. But I had a couple people brought this up. When's the book coming out?
The book. Is that the next thing that I have to do is write a book?
I don't know. I thought about it and I'm like, you know what I'm doing, what we're doing, Amanda and some other people, we're documenting. We're documenting the things. It's so
I think I'm 32, but I think I'm too young to write a book right now. I don't think I've had enough stuff happen yet, so it might take a few years.
Y'all could put out a Bigfoot album, campfire songs. I heard some of that.
If I do, it might be. You might want to watch the children around what I
know, right? Yeah.
Y'all, we could have some pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, we're fixing to get out of here, and I've met so many nice people that it's refreshing. There's more nice people doing some of this than there are my neighbors. Like it's like, why do you hang around Bigfoot people? I'm like, because most of them are cool as everything.
And then some of them are great. Like you would not like a lot of Bigfoot musicians are not musicians. A lot of Bigfoot researchers are musicians too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I found crazy. So
it is. There's some, what do you call it? Synchronicities, Amanda. So there's some things that's like, I started, there for a while. I was asking people, I found out I was O negative and had all this stuff, Neanderthal DNA and all that, and I'd be like, are you O negative? And like most of them are like, how did you know? I'm like, I don't know. And maybe it's just the way we're built and we question things. I don't know.
Exactly.
All right. We're fixing to get out of here. Tate, you can hang around if you want to. If you don't, that's cool. We I know Amanda's in the one time zone over, so she's probably getting ready to go to bed. So
yeah, Amanda and I are in the same time zone.
Yeah, we're both East Coasties over here.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
Thank you, Tate.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, I'm Neoma Fenn, and I'm listening to Squatchin Holler. And if you're hearing me say this, you are too, which means you have excellent taste. Cheers.